What's the deal? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, man. It's the live edition of the fan line. So by now, you're all aware that the Pelicans suffered another embarrassing defeat this evening. Even the Pacers won. The Pacers beat the Miami Heat 135 to 118. I can't even imagine the Pelicans like scoring 135 right now, but the Pelicans lost at home 102 to 134.
That 3 double-digit losses.
Is that three double-digit losses in a row?
They lost to Detroit, the Raptors, and then Houston.
There's no integrity, no shame. Hold on, let me take a look at this. This is embarrassing. So the forthcoming schedule on April 2nd, it's Portland Trailblazers on the road, Sacramento Kings on the road. Then you come home to Orlando. They might get beat Orlando. April 5th at home. April 7th versus the Jazz. Then the last two games of the season are on the road versus Boston and Minnesota. So we not gonna play no games. Whoa, shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe button, share the live, because we're gonna talk about this tonight. We're gonna talk about it tonight. Whoa, what up with Louisiana again? What up, D? What up, Fist? Trade Dakari, King Rams in the building, 2X. What's happening with y'all, man? So let me ask you something, brother. So with the last few games, what has been your takeaway now that the Pelicans are playing playoff teams?
This is what I expected.
You did say that, right? Yeah.
This is what we expected. The biggest stretch we said was going to be, they had what it was, a 10-game stretch, it was a 10-game stretch or like an 8-game stretch, which was going to really see what this team was. And you had the loss against Houston, not this loss against Houston, but the other loss.
Prior loss, yeah. And
where it was kind of like, okay, yeah. Maybe, whoa, was good. Jaden was good, everybody.
What's good, Jaden?
Well, you was kind of like, all right, DeJounte had the great game. You should have won that game. Like, regardless.
Should have won that Houston game.
You should have won that game.
What up, Mike?
So that was the game that had people feeling like, okay,
Ethan.
Maybe something up. Then you had the Clippers game, the first Clippers game, where you was down big and you came back and pulled that one off, right?
Right.
So it was kind of like, all right. And then you had the second Clippers game where it was tight, but you found a way to win.
Right.
Now, again, we both discussed the games against most of the teams on the second half of the stretch post All-Star game, injured, bad teams, tanking teams. Right. And even if you go, I personally think Houston is flawed, right?
I don't think Houston's good.
Yeah, personally. Them not having a point guard like is a major indictment, and you see that when they play other quality teams, right? So like a close loss against us is more of an indictment for them. And they said today, we ain't letting that shit get as close as it was last game. We're gonna beat the piss out these people. Not to mention, I think Sengun didn't play in the last game either.
Yeah, Sengun didn't play either. What
kind of a difference Sengun makes. So that's just that. But to kind of bring it back and get to the point, this is exactly what we thought would happen. The Clippers, when you played them, didn't have Garland. I think
no, the first game they had Garland. That was just like one of his first games back. They didn't have Mathurin. And the second night they didn't have Kawhi, Garland, Mathurin, and you barely won that second game, to be honest.
Yeah, so you stole that, and then with your season on the line, this is the thing, with your season on the line, you got Cleveland. You were winning most of that game until until Donovan and Harden say it's winning time.
Yeah, enough is enough. Yeah.
From you. At home, that's a game you got to win. You go to New York. Now, again, if you lose the New York game, your season over. Yeah. Your season over.
You proceed to lose that game.
You just find a way to
and they had a lead in that game. They actually led in that game as well.
Fears was the only person, really not the only person, but like
one
really playing well that game. Took Fears off the court. DeJounte say, I'm not passing. You know what I mean? And then the messed up timeout, and then the not subbing Zion in. Trey don't get no shot. It's the same shit over and over. And then you end up losing that one. After that, they pretty much quit. Detroit is just better than you, which was already going to be a tough one to win. Then Trey sat down, right?
Yo, did you see? We got some breaking news here. Shout out to my dog Rod Walker. So they asked James Borrego what went wrong in the second quarter when the Pelicans got outscored 39-19. And he said his answer was when I subbed. And like the elephant in the room, we got to talk about it. I gotta say this. And shout out to my dog, man, Louisiana girl. She said, I give up and you win, Chaz, with this DQ argument. Today was abysmal. I was at the game. He got that BS technical, completely ignored the vets when he tried to talk to him. His attitude is horrible. Let me ask you this. And I was talking to a couple people about this. Do you think there's a world where Derek Queen is not an NBA player?
Not an NBA player? No, I don't think that.
Well, okay. Because shit, they got some people. Well, I'll say this. Do you think there's a world where Derek Queen is a fringe NBA player? Like he could easily go to Europe or something. He could easily not get a second contract. Ooh. Do you think that world exists?
I mean, yeah, a world like that. I'll say this. A world like that exists. He's a good knee, and respectfully, he don't seem like the type that could bounce back from like a knee injury, or so, you know what I mean? Something like that that'll really slow you down even more so. Like the athleticism and stuff right now, he's kind of at the point where like he has to work on it so much to compensate to where if you don't take it serious, and you could tell like a lot of people was concerned about the motor. Yeah. Like I think at the end of the season with everybody else quitting, you see his motor drop down. Like I think when they cut the minutes.
Yeah. You think he didn't respond well to being benched?
I don't think so at all. I think when they cut the minutes and when they sent them back to the bench, like initially you saw Fears respond. I don't think DQ responded well to that. And for you can see it how he runs on the like he just kind of like trotting around on the court.
Yeah. Now, I don't really have an opinion on this, right? I think I've made my opinion pretty well known during the live streams I do.
It's very documented.
Do you think? No. But let me rephrase this because I posed this question on Twitter, and we gonna kind of really we're just gonna talk about it tonight. So
yeah, I'm with it.
How many tiers above Dyson would you rank Derek Queen as an offensive player?
As an offensive player?
Yeah, just offensive. Like how many tiers above Dyson would you rank Derek as an offensive player?
At bare minimum, I gotta say at least one. Like
okay,
at
one whole tier. Okay.
I think Dyson, respectfully, is awful offensively.
Right. Okay.
But that might. Listen, you know, spending DQ all season, bro. All season. Today was he's had like bad moments, but I could find like
good spots, like yeah,
I could find stretches within those moments. Today was like very glaring because when for example, it immediately happened once he subbed into the game.
Yeah.
Like Sengun just was like, oh, you're not gonna guard up three. Oh, you're not gonna guard up three. Like they couldn't get boards. Like like you couldn't really move it offensively, and like it was. I just heard you just every time you touch, I was like,
"What are you doing?"
God damn,
right? Yeah,
you're right, but come on, bro.
Like for me, man.
You try not to be mean.
I don't want to be mean spirited though, because I like Derek, man. I root for Derek. I just don't see a world.
I got a question to throw back at you.
Okay, matter of fact, let's go. Let's go with that because let's go with that. That's a good pivot.
Is there a world where DQ is not on the team next year?
I don't think that I do think that world exists depending on who becomes available. I would put that probably at less than 50%. You know, I think if somebody really awesome became available, though, I do think they would consider moving Derek, because we've seen it in the past. Like Shea got traded for Paul George.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield got traded for DeMarcus Cousins. Like,
you think his value is like? What do you think his value is like?
Shout out to Sam. Sam asked me this. Now, there's two answers here. One is what I would do, and the other thing is what I think the value is, right?
Okay.
I think if a team was looking to trade for Derek right now, if that pick is in the first round, I think it starts at like pick 20.
Okay.
And then I'm talking about at best. And then it kind of goes downward. If it were me, I probably wouldn't trade a first round pick for Derek.
I take the 20 for him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would. And I think because it's one of those situations to where everything has to go perfect for Derek to be. Because I'm gonna ask you another question after this, but I think everything has to go perfect for Derek to be a bona fide shoe-in starter consistently. Okay. And the fact that we don't live in a perfect world, like, you know what I'm saying? He has too many flaws to his game, and it's kind of like the reason I bring up Dyson, because I remember feeling like this with Dyson. Like when I saw Dyson's get drafted and I went to look at his tape, I remember saying, I don't know what y'all saw in this guy, because this is not a point guard, right? Yeah. When I look at Derek, I'm like, I don't really know what people see. Like I can talk myself into being like, I see a version of Sengun. A version of Sengun. Now that version of Sengun could be 43 years old. Like that could be like a terrible, like that could be like a washed up Orlando Magic Patrick Ewing version of Sengun. But with Derek, I just don't see a ton of avenues, dog, to where he gets better, son. And it's crazy because his jumper, like for example, if Derek started shooting 40% from three on 5 attempts a game,
would it change things for you?
No.
That would be more attempts at a better percentage than her.
The reason I say that though is because this is the question I was gonna ask you. I don't think Derek Queen, unless things go incredibly right, and I hope I'm wrong about all this, I don't think he becomes a starter in the NBA, like a good starter. Just like I don't think Herb Jones is a starter in the NBA. I was about to ask you, how many starters on this team do you think the Pelicans have? Like actual starting players?
At most. Mm-hmm. I think DeJounte is a starting caliber player.
Facts.
Zion obviously is a starting. Trey is a starter.
Yeah.
I think Sadiq is a fringe starter. I think it depends on the team.
I forgot about Sadiq. I'm tripping. So yeah,
Sadiq. And if Caruso not a starter, then I can't say Herb's a starter. So like that might be it. Four players.
What's up, Jess?
Yeah, Trey will start on most teams in the league. Zion, obviously. I think DeJounte on a team that don't have a bona fide PG, he would start. And I think Sadiq could start depending on like you could start Sadiq on some teams and be fine. But that's about it. I think your big rotation, Misi and Carlo, I don't like it. Not saying I don't like it at all. There's some potential, but again, man, we had he can run again on DP1.
Wait, man. Hold on, Al, my bad. Man, Louisiana girl, this is crazy. Shout out to Jess, shout out to Louisiana girl, shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure I hit that like button and share the live stream, man. Louisiana gal say DQ, he can work on his game all he want. She don't believe Derek will be a great player with his particular attitude as it stands. He said he doesn't accept coaching. DeAndre screamed at him to try to get him to run hard. He waved DeAndre off. That is crazy. And she said, in comparison to Fears, no one listened to Borrego today. I ran into Fears late last night. He had just left the facility to get extra work in. You couldn't tell today he frowned up and down. He frowned up every time Borrego tried to speak to him. I think Borrego particularly, because I made that about Derek like jokingly, but also he said subs. He didn't just say Derek. He didn't say nobody. Yeah. Fears also a person who came off the bench. So clearly Borrego is having some issues with some of those guys in that second unit. But I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. Go ahead. You
no, you good. This actually plays into because that's a great comment. I was reading it and 1000% agreed that like you saw, and early on, for example, like you saw that the attitude. You know what I think too? I think when Borrego pulled Fizz from that New York game, I'm good on you, bro. I'm good on you, bro. Because
to me, that was the last time Fizz played really well.
Yeah, and that was the last. Let's say if you've been preaching a message, right? You went against everything that you had been preaching in that particular game. And that's the part that I was harping on when we watched the game. Players don't forget stuff like that, bro. I'm telling you.
Dog, like I think you hit the nail on the head because, like, again, you've shown times this season where you can justify not giving certain players rotational minutes or letting them close games. So you can say, look, I was riding with the hot hand.
Yep.
Well, in this situation, you did the exact opposite. So that goes to show me it's politics over principles. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like it's politics over principles. And honestly, bro, I think I'm kind of over the whole DeJounte era because, again, when I've seen DeJounte play against good teams, I'm looking for is a pass first point guard, a floor setter, someone who understands pacing, someone who kind of has the feel for the game. And too often this season, especially versus good teams, I don't think DeJounte showcased that, especially in tight games. I think when the Pelicans are, and the turnovers are just insane. He had a couple tonight. I listened to the Pelicans broadcast where he just over penetrated, got like blocked at the rim. It ended up being a fast break opportunity. And of course, he's the man back because he went 1-on-2 or 1-on-3 and ultimately turned the ball over. And I also think watching DeJounte versus a team when the Pelicans are up like 10 or down 10 what up, Zeke? Shout out to everybody in the building. It's a different player. Because when the Pelicans are down 10, he can just focus on scoring. Like, I just need to go score. It's better. But when it's a tight game and the decision making got to be sharp and crisp, and the ball handling got to be like that. I just haven't seen it, especially not against good teams.
This was part of my concern when bringing in DeJounte, to be honest.
Okay.
Even if you go back to the Spurs days when, and maybe that first year in Atlanta when some say that was some of his best playing, I personally thought it was because the team lacked talent and you had the freedom to do whatever it was you want to do, and then most of that was still scoring. Now
the second best player on that team was Derrick White, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. So, and then you still had Pop, who, they had a system of some kind. Yeah. He had a system of some kind. So then it's just kind of like, he'll have assist numbers. But again, if I put the ball in your hand for, 34, 35 minutes a game, then like you're going to naturally fall into assists. Like, I just hate to put it that way. But when they brought DeJounte in, and it's not that I don't think DeJounte is a bad player or something like that.
Oh, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
I just didn't think he was the right fit for this particular team. I saw somebody the other day post because they were talking about who's supposed to be the closer for this team. Like, and I ideally want Zion. You want Zion to be the closer, right?
Right.
But if you remember, Griffin actually brought DeJounte in, you remember what he said? His words were, we went through the season, we had a good season. That's the 49 win season. The one thing we were lacking was somebody to show us how to finish and close games. DeJounte was brought in to be a closer. They brought DeJounte in with all intents and purposes to be able to shoot this bitch whenever he wanted to. Well, and if you look left and right, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, especially with that iteration of the team, like I'm looking at the box score right now for tonight. DeJounte 8 for 14, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, 2 free throws.
Not bad numbers,
yeah, not bad numbers, especially since he only played 28 minutes. 6 assists, 19 points. He was not terrible, man. I just think, again, with certain players, Zion being one of them as well, I think for you to get where you gotta go, you need to be insulated and surrounded by other really good players or really, really solid role players. Like you seeing right now with Orlando, with Suggs being out, with Franz being out, and they leaving Paolo by himself. It's kind of like, well, and Bane, you got Paolo and Bane. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, this don't look that good. And it's like, well, of course, the best players or some of their best players, and some might argue Franz is their best player. They're out, so it looks different. I just think, like, it's too much. It's too much confusion. It's too much. It's just a total lack of wherewithal with this coaching staff and how to maximize guys. Because no one's going to say this is a great roster, but the point is maximizing your better players on the team. And I think more often than not, you haven't seen that, and you haven't seen this team consistently punch above their weight and win those games. Like I just pointed to Indiana. I don't think the Heat are good, but the Pelicans are 0-2 versus the Heat this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
they split versus Indiana this season, if I'm not mistaken. So how often have the Pelicans consistently punched above their weight? And I ain't talking about this loser shit. Like, well, they lost by 10. If it was Willie, they would have lost by 20. So what? They lost. Yeah. They lost. You need to win. Like, I don't care if you barely lost. I need you to win these motherfuckers. And more often than not, we haven't seen that, unfortunately.
I 1000% agree. I just think the coach, like, if you start looking top down, and there's obviously, you didn't already said it, we all know it, like the roster is not great.
Yeah.
But the one thing that we wanted to see when Willie got the problem that you had with Willie was the games weren't consistent from game to game, right? Like you didn't know what style they would play. And it's very much the same now. Like, I don't know what they're going to look like from game to game. I don't know what they're going to try to accomplish from game to game. I don't know what the subs are going to look like.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Case in point, DeAndre Jordan went from starting to 2 games in a row with DNPs, and now you was giving Kevon Looney minutes in the third quarter.
Why?
What the fuck? What is this? Like, what?
Kevon ain't played since
probably 2025.
Like, yeah.
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Like, you're running pick and roll with DeJounte. It's a miracle when DeJounte ever. Let's say DeJounte and Zion run a pick and roll. It's a miracle when DeJounte actually gives the ball up to Zion as the roll man. But even then, it was like, man, you had a roster tonight. I think it was DeJounte. It might have been DeJounte, Looney, Herb. It was just a crazy lineup.
It's, you know what, it was similar to that lineup we saw the other night against the Knicks.
With Zion, Queen, Messi.
Herb. It's like, so, and thankfully Fears,
balled out.
Was offensively doing something, but it's kind of like, no, you can't throw these kinds of lineups out there and think you're going to be effective, especially against, you're not even going to get stops. Like, because the teams that you're playing got a guy, you're not doubling them. You just leaving Herb on the island against the best offensive players in the league. And just, even when Herb was his best defensively, Dyson was still better on ball.
Like,
so it's kind of like,
I'm sorry. Tonight, Herb 3 for 10 from the field, 2 for 6 from beyond the arc, 2 free throws, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He couldn't stop any fucking one. 10 points, 4 fouls. And if I go back to last game, the numbers won't be much better, bro. It's like, to me, aside from the Derek Queen trade, the biggest indictment on this front office to me was extending Herb Jones. Like, let me ask you something. Last game versus the Raptors, how many fouls do you think Herb had?
At least 4 or 5.
How many points you think he had?
Not over 10.
Herb had 2 fouls and 2 points. He went 1 for 8 from the field.
For the whole game?
For the whole game. He went 1 for 8 from the field.
I was being generous. I thought he was being aggressive defensively.
0 for 4 from beyond the arc. He had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks.
He's quick too, man.
2 points. He's gonna play them numbers.
Let me ask you this: would you fire Borrego? I know you would, but like, would you fire Borrego today?
Yes. I'll tell you why. I'll do it now because that's the issue Joe Dumars ran into.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue Joe Dumars ran into. Because when David Griffin was fired, I ain't talking about with the trade and shit. I'm talking about just generally not having enough time. When David Griffin was fired, he was fired at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, with executives, you're supposed to fire those guys, in my opinion, during the season. So they got time to go find a GM, go find this person, go find that person. Whereas, again, for us coaching staff wise, Joe Dumars and Weaver only made one hire.
Yeah.
This one, they hired the guy. She said, "I ain't even let you get the question." No, it's like, no, I
already knew the answer when I asked the question, but still,
I talked to Dotson a while ago, son. I talked to Dotson a while ago, and I said, "Bruh." No, Dotson said, he's like, at a certain point, dog, you gotta just call a motherfucker up from the squadron, let him finish the season, and just do this. It's over. Like, to me, tonight, more than anything, the Borrego era should have ended. Like, and to the people that was like, man, y'all, I know not in here because we all gangsters in here, but to the people that was kind of like more so, what was that in the Slim South? More like, man, they winning games, man. Things turned around. DeJounte back. It's like, no, what the fuck? Like, no, they look bad, bro. And I was saying they look bad when they won 49 games. It's like, nah, this is make believe. You know what I'm saying? And it's it's inexplicable to a degree. What would you do if you were Dumars or Weaver?
I fire him right now.
Tonight is over
while he's at home. I wouldn't let you go back out on the road. Hey, brother, don't. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it, because if you let him finish the season, the point you made about the time is a big one.
Yeah,
but I think the team has showed that they quit on him too.
Yeah, it pretty much appears that way. Like, after New York, they quit.
So you can't bring him back for what you gonna do in the off season, right? I'm gonna bring the guy back, and again, they believed in him. The team believed in him when they first fired Willie, right?
I gambled on you. You gambled on a crackhead.
Like, they wanted to come into the season with Borrego. They didn't do it. All right. They quit on Willie early. They quit on Willie at the game too. After the Herb sub into the Spurs shit, the Spurs game, they were like, nah, this the same old same. They quit on him.
Over. Yeah.
Right. It took him too long to fire Willie then. Borrego then had, it ain't the full 70, but in that first 9 game losing streak,
yeah.
Like, I'm sure Zion was probably like, so then they come back off the bench and they start getting a little rhythm going. Him and Poole came. You said what you want about Poole, though, but when him and Poole came back after those long injuries and they went on that 5-game win streak, Poole was a part of that 5-game win streak.
Whoa.
Poole got sat down, and then I know Z was probably like, wait, I'm not, motherfucker got hurt.
Like, not only am I not starting, I'm benched in the. Now, look, that's the thing. You won that game. So I don't give a fuck, right? But again, the other night in New York, you just showed me that that's not a part of your philosophy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm starting to stop your wisdom. Yo,
you good.
So Willie Green was fired November 15th, 2025. It's March 29th, 2026. That's about 4 months. This team still doesn't have an identity.
No.
They still aren't playing better. They've to this day still, if I'm not mistaken, to this day they've lost again about 19 fourth quarter. Well, 19 games where they led in the fourth quarter.
I don't know a rotation.
I don't know the rotation night to night.
Again,
I don't know what the goal is.
Better? Who has gotten better?
Realistically, who's gotten better?
Listen, even if you're gonna say early in the season, let's say he tied the, his record to Fears and Queen, and just was like, fuck it, no matter what, I'm starting them too,
right?
Regardless, all season. You could at least come back and say, well, hey, he played 2 rookies all season, and we spent this year on developing them. You ain't even do that, so you like took your, you know what I mean? Like you cut yourself off from like one of the excuses that you had early in the season, because one of the excuses was, hey man, they playing the young guys and blah blah blah. It's like, well, they ain't doing that now. Queen barely getting minutes,
and when he does, god damn. But shout out to Bree. I want to point out something that Louisiana girl said. And shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to my dog 504 in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, and man, share the live if you can. But like, yo, man, shout out to, man, thoughts and prayers to Jay and Ivy, bro. Thoughts and prayers to that brother. Maybe he just seeing something we can't see yet. Maybe that's what it is. Like, what your girl say on the plane? That motherfucker back there is not real. Like maybe he's seeing something we can't see, because this nigga is out of his mind right now. But also, sometimes, y'all, it's about the move you don't make. And sometimes it ain't just the move you make, it's about the move you don't make. Because they could have definitely traded for Jay and Ivy and immediately regretted it. But yeah, man. So let me ask you this. There are about 6 games left. Somebody asked a really interesting question about, now I think I know where you stand on this, but going into this all season, I don't believe in untouchables, honestly, on any basketball team that's not winning. I don't think I believe on any of they winning, honestly, but I don't believe in untouchables. Who would you consider trading Trey Murphy this offseason?
You already know I would consider trading Trey. Listen, bro. I like Trey. I like Trey. Again, Trey on this team as currently constructed is not a difference maker. Like he's not enough of a difference maker, right? So like, unless you telling me we're bringing in a whole bunch of other talent to where Trey is like your 4th best player or something like that, then like I just don't think Trey right now, unless he takes some leap that I don't necessarily say we don't see, but like he has to take another leap in his game. But I already told you I'm going to get Ace Bailey if I can. Like,
I'm sorry, man. Desmond Bain had a comment tonight where they asked him about the team's preparedness, and he pretty much was like, no comment. So that's also an indictment on Mosley. Shit, we might have Mosley. What's the day? Today's Sunday. We might have Mosley by Easter, y'all. So now, Louisiana Gal has asked a great follow-up. And I see your question, Jaden. I got to start. He has a great follow-up. He said, who are the list of players that you would trade for Trey? Or would he be a rebuild type of move? Like, are you looking for assets?
I would. So, again, I don't think this team is like one trade away. So I think I think Trey, you have to look at it like this. Like, you can either trade Trey for picks, right? Which seems like a rebuild kind of move, depending on where the picks land and stuff like that. I don't think you can trade like for I guess you can include him for a star, but what star would you go get that's gonna put you in a position to actually compete with the rest of this roster? Like, you still have to go get other moves and trade, like based on salary and stuff like that. You'd have to give up assets with Trey to do something like that. So personally, I'm going to try to get my future guy that I think like I need I keep throwing out Ace Bailey name, which I don't think the Jazz would do that, but I can't think of
I get your line of thinking though, definitely.
Yeah, like it would have to be Trey. I think Shaden getting ready to get paid, so I couldn't do Shaden right now.
Oh, Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, I don't think I could do Shaden, but like it would have to be Ace Bailey or somebody of that type. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe you know what I would consider? You know what I would consider? And it's just because I think he's a better player than Trey. A player like I wouldn't do it, I don't think, but like I think Hero is just a better player than Trey.
Tyler Hero. With that contract, you trade him for Trey?
I just if you trying to compete, you know what I mean, or something like that. I just think Hero, like a player like Hero, like we had a lot of people have the conversation. Would you rather Austin Reeves or Trey Murphy? Right?
Like, now, I haven't heard that one. I've heard Austin Reeves versus Herb, but Austin Reeves versus Trey.
Look at Austin Reeves.
We might have talked about that.
They're very similar, and then a lot of people put in the like if Trey was playing with Luka and stuff like that, what would he look like? And
I do remember the conversation now. I ain't gonna hold you, son. I think about Lauri Markkanen. I think No, my bad. I don't mean trade for Lauri Markkanen. I just think about the Lauri Markkanen player arc in a dysfunctional organization in Chicago. Shit, just physically, he has some issues as far as he's getting injured. And goes to Cleveland, was around some real deal motherfuckers with some expectations, balls out. After that, he becomes an all-star. I think the reason why it's so difficult for me to now, as far as with the offseason, I got to give him a pass this offseason because of the shoulder injury. But prior off seasons, my issue with Trey has been you gotta gain weight and you gotta have added physicality with the dribbling. Yeah, like I saw some of that improve last season. Haven't seen it as much this season, but last season I definitely saw it improve for us to hammer. I think about that Celtics game in particular with no Zion or nobody. Trey he giving Derek White the blues. Yeah. I think a player like that, for me, is so difficult to judge because, all right, you got a ready-made skill set you came into the league with, similar to Zion. I need you to add to your game firstly, but it's also tough for me to be too difficult with those guys because all you know is Willie Green. like Zion, at least he knew Stan Van Gundy and Elvin Gentry. Yeah. All Trey Murphy know is Willie Green. And Willie Green and Borrego, to me, Borrego's the Mexican Willie Green.
Let me be clear. I wouldn't just.
Yeah, you're not going to give them away. Yeah,
I wouldn't just do that. But like, again, if somebody called, like Golden State don't have nothing I would want for Trey Murphy. You know what I mean? Like,
you have to give me your picks.
Yeah, that's nothing. And like, I need all of them. So like, nothing like that. But again, man, if I could get Ace Bailey for Trey, I do it.
Let's go over a couple of numbers. Let's look at the homie Trey Murphy numbers, man. 64 games this season. Out right now with injury. On 8 attempts, need that to get up to about 9. I'm sorry.
4. I see. I'm looking at the chat. 4 picks you can have Trey. Let me ask you this: what you think of? I know you're looking at Trey numbers, but like, what do you think of like an OKC pick package and say like AJ Mitchell and something else? Like,
I know you high on AJ Mitchell.
I like the game. Even if it's not AJ, let's say it's Jared McCain or like, you know what I mean?
I couldn't do it. This is why I couldn't do it. Because to me, I'm trying to get OKC the fuck up out of here. Like, I'm tired of y'all. I don't want y'all getting no more people. Like, y'all get this motherfucker and fix him. Well, he's already, and that's why I want to go with his numbers. He's already still a quality player. He's just not a top at this as it currently stands. I don't think Zion is the best player on a good team right now, and I don't think Trey Murphy is the second best player on a good team right now. So as it currently stands, Trey is averaging 21 points on 16 shot attempts. So he's shooting 47% from the field, shooting 38% on about 9 attempts, 8.7, but roughly 9 attempts. He getting to the line. Damn, he was getting to the line at like about 4 attempts this game. 9 is at 3. So, but he's improved his rebounding, improved his steals, block rate has fell.
He's Brandon Ingram just with better shooting and less of a mid-range game. Like his numbers close.
Yeah, I'm about to say yes. He's like a cheaper, younger Brandon Ingram. But I do think Brandon Ingram because Brandon Ingram shoots the ball a lot more. Brandon Ingram tends to have larger scoring outbursts, and I mean they're in the East. But I think with Trey again, and that's why I hate being in this spot, man. To where all I've ever seen you with are terrible coaches, and I mean Trey and Willie Green, man. I'm gonna have to put that in the membership show. Trey and Willie Green did not have a good relationship. Willie, you know. Nah, I don't want to say that part. But Trey and Willie Green did not have a good relationship.
Willie tried his best to make it tough on Trey.
He tried to, but I'm gonna say this too. Willie wasn't alone in that effort because, man, I'm gonna save that for the members. But we will talk about it. We'll talk about it. But Willie wasn't alone in that effort. But I think again, this is the same staff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Same staff. And I think that's why you see
give the players benefit of the doubt, or is he looking back at this shit and like Joe, everybody need to go? Joe Dumars.
I think depending on who you are and what I'm asking you to do.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he gave Jordan Poole benefit of the doubt, honestly.
I think he did.
I wouldn't be shocked if he did, just because it's like the situation was so bad from game 3 onward, because that's when the alleged cursing out happened for the people who, like, you know, that's when, from what I was told, Jordan Poole, you know, let Willie know what was happening around game 3, and that's why he was benched after game 3. So, but I think he would give him some benefit of the doubt, because I think he'll look at the roster and say, well, they might be bad, but they was at least 30-something win bad, because the team I always go to, bro, the Memphis fucking Grizzlies. I know people probably tired of me mentioning the Memphis Grizzlies, but look, the Memphis Grizzlies right now have a better record than the Pelicans. They're 25-49. The Pelicans are 25-51. But here's the thing: the Memphis Grizzlies have had, my God, so many fucking injuries, and they traded Jared Jackson Jr. John Morant's been shut down. Brandon Clark didn't play this season. Ty Jerome missed most of the season. Scottie Pippen Jr.
still playing.
Zion playing. Trey Murphy was playing. DeJounte just came back, but he's playing. Jordan Poole has been, he hasn't been getting minutes, but he's been healthy. But I'm saying is the Pelicans, those are like with the Jordan Poole shit, that's a rotation issue. It's not a player availability issue. Yeah, that's a rotation issue. Because up until recently, Jordan Poole was still the third leading scorer on the team. Yeah, DeJounte Murray playing in the clutch versus the Knicks, that's a rotation issue. It's a rotational issue. You know, that's why I think a lot of these decisions truthfully fall back on the coaching staff and their inability to maximize guys. Like, shout out to my dog Jackets Margella. He called the show the other night, and we were talking about Zion shot attempts or lack thereof. Like, if we go to the box office tonight, man, Zion was killing them dudes more or less. Against the Raptors, it was killing the Raptors until, you know,
they just decided.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough, man. Herb, to me, I wish I want to play the clip with Herb there. Herb just such a difficult brother to watch sometimes, though. I ain't gonna lie. But like, for example, tonight, I think Zion shot like 8 shots, maybe like 7 free throws or something along those lines.
Yeah, he's 6 for 8 from the free throw line.
6 for 8 from the free throws. So 6 for 8 from the free throw line and 8 shots. So that's about 12 shots. No matter how you slice it in 25 minutes, so he probably would have finished with about 10, 11 attempts. So no matter how you slice it, 12 shots ain't enough. And again, it's too often in this offense, you see guys just going for dolo. They got the ball, they dribbling the fucking air out the basketball. They paking wild, crazy pull-up middies. Move the basketball. Find Will. Like, pass the ball to Will. And no one is saying that Zion gonna make every motherfucking shot. But what I'm saying is 16 should be the minimum. That should be the bare minimum. Like, to me, it's just no excuse.
Early in the season, bro. Like, early in when DQ and Fears were getting extensive minutes, right? Early in the season. Like, as much as you want to say about, you know, Poole and Trey and all of them, but like those first couple games when they were starting like the vets, Zion attempts were up. Like, they were around the normal Zion attempts. if you look at when they started playing DQ and Fears and Poole kind of fell out of the rotation and Herb was shooting that bitch like he was like, I'm just trying to find my rhythm again. That's when you and Sadiq with the post ups and a lot of this. Sadiq get a lot of touches and shots, man. I don't care what you say. But Z early on in the season when they started figuring this out was just kind of like these bitches really looking me off. Like Trey was getting looked off. Like a lot of the looks that you think
he still gets looked off. That's the crazy part. As recent as the Knicks game, the man hit a couple threes in a row, and then they go to looking them off.
Oh, bet we rolling now. So I think Zion, and we talked about Joe Dumars for a quick second. I think Joe Dumars gave every player an individual goal. I think the Zion was play a certain number of games and finish this season healthy. Like I think that was the Zion goal. I think Trey Murphy goal was, let me see what your game look like, be available, probably like do better on the boards, be a little tougher, like you know what I mean? Maybe some stuff like that. I think everybody had individual goals, and to me, you could just tell from like the effort standpoint that everybody was playing with, and they didn't buy into this coaching staff, in my opinion. Even if they played better, I just think you played better due to help, people being available, having better players on the court. But it just didn't look like the ball was just swinging around consistently like you would want it to. It don't look like, these dudes had developed any kind of system. They still look like they don't know all of the plays and whatnot all of the time. There was no hierarchy, which we talk about. There's
last game, these niggas was literally running into each other.
Yeah, like come on, dog.
Like, and shout out to Bosco. I'm sorry, you go ahead. Finish your point. Now, shout out to Bosco Sniper. That's my opinion as well as it pertains to Zion. Is that Zion? There are things he can do to help himself, and that's why, to me, no matter how you slice it, he's had a disappointing season. Health-wise, cool. Defensively, he's done some cool shit this season defensively. Like, to me, his on-ball defense this season, it was like, wait a minute, because at times, if Zion is looking like your best on-ball defender, like on the perimeter, I don't know how good that is. Shout out to him for the effort, but I don't think that should be the case a lot of times. But still, shout out to him for the effort. Again, scoring with ease. If I look at his numbers, I'm sure that he's around fucking 60%, 50%.
Of course.
Yeah, shooting, but the utilization and usage has been lower than ever. Let me ask you this.
I think that was by design to a degree.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it was by design. I think it kind of goes to your point from the standpoint of now let me say this though too. I think it's by design, but I think it's also a way people kind of running cover for Borrego on the cool. But let's just say it's by design, right? Like I think Zion is number one in the league right now, coming off of cuts this season, or it's like averaging points per attempt coming off of cuts. My thing is, okay, Zion averaging 20 plus right now with no shooting, no whatever. Trey averaging 20 plus right now with him being the only fucking shooter.
Yeah.
If you add some talent to that front court, do you think? Well, not just the front court. Or if you add some, shout out to Dr. Down on the building, man. If you add some talent to that roster, in that starting unit, do you think you see a higher usage rate for those guys? Those guys being Trey and Zion. Do you think? Because right now, to me, I know how to guard Trey. Yeah, that don't mean he won't drop 20 on me, but I know how I would guard Trey because you're the only shooter on the court.
I think you could. I don't think that the talent is bad to where like they're useless players. I think while I said I would be willing to trade Trey.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But that don't mean I think Trey is a useful player that like can help you build a good team. The only thing I think about Z is I just think Z this season. I heard people call. I think
we're going my bad.
No, I think Z this season just proved that he might not be a 1A, like a best player on a championship.
Yeah, on a good team. Yeah.
And if that's the case, cool. Like that don't mean you can't be a playoff team. You just need some other things around them. Like I don't think take the Atlanta Hawks team, for example. right?
Mhm.
I really like Jalen Johnson.
I
I
like
think
Jalen
Jalen
Johnson.
Johnson's a really good player. I
Yeah,
can't say
fact.
Jalen Johnson right now would be like the best player on a championship team,
I can't
right?
see that. No, yeah,
Exactly. But they have enough stuff around it,
yeah.
right? And the coach Quinn Snyder's a hell of a coach to
Mhm.
where they look like a playoff team. I think you could do something like that with Z and Trey and some complementary pieces and good coaching to where I wouldn't just give them away, but I think a good coach will put Z in situations where he's shooting 16 to 18 times a game.
At
Easily.
least consistently. Like, and that's my thing
He
too.
averaged it for his career. So all of a sudden, this season, he
like,
I think he averaged 16 shots a game for his career.
like, man, for me, because I really like Anthony Edwards, though. I think Anthony Edwards is one of the best players in the league, top 5 in my opinion.
Yes.
I think when people talk about Anthony Edwards' ascension and growth, they leave out so many factors. Like, for one, Anthony Edwards wasn't always thought to be like as good as he is now. Because at one time, people like, man, you're getting fat, you can't shoot no more. I mean, you can't dunk no more, and you can't shoot. So that's how you're gonna get most of your points is dunking. You got to get to the paint. And that's when they had Rudy and Cat, and it wasn't looking like it was going to work. But you talking about Anthony Edwards and 2 Hall of Famers. So you talking about 3 Hall of Fame players, right? And a great coach and Mike Conley. Yeah, like that's a hell of a team. So
and good Nas Reed was a quality role player.
Yeah, Nas Reed, quality rotational guy. Chris Finch.
Jason Daniels is a quality.
Yeah, it's quality rotational player. Chris Finch, very, very quality guy. Quality head coach, man. I think I'm sure people here don't feel that way, but I think it's hard to understate how bad of an organization the Pelicans are when you talk about nurturing and helping talent elevate. I think that's why when you got a guy like Zion that isn't necessarily a self-starter, to his credit, fine, he got his health together, good, cool, but that isn't like a self-starter. To me, look, I'm happy that you can play. I'm happy that you're healthy. That's what's up. But that's why you get paid the big bucks. You get paid to be healthy. You ain't going to the clinic. You ain't on Medicaid. You you got the best doctors in the world. You got nutritionists. You're not eating whatever you can get. You ain't eating kabooms and King vitamins. You got good food. You got asparagus. So nigga eating good. So I expect your health comes with the territory of being a professional. So I give you some credit, but not a ton of credit for that. But what I will say is when you have a guy that isn't a self-starter, you have to surround those guys with motivating factors. Like Anthony Edwards. People are crazy. Rudy Gobert is going to go down as a top 5 all-time defensive player. The man is an incredible defensive player. He's a bona fide Hall of Famer. Karl Anthony Towns.
And the regular season stats show it. Like the impact is there on every team that he's done. You say what you want, bruh. Them Utah teams, bro, 1 seeds.
Though
1 seeds.
I can't name a 3rd or 4th player really off them Utah teams. If it wasn't Spider and Gobert, like Royce, was it Royce O'Neal maybe?
But they had Joe Ingles
back. Joe Ingles. Yeah. Was Bohan there at one point?
I think Bogan might have been there.
Yeah, Bogan might have been there. But they ain't have like no head busters like that. It was just Spider and Gobert. Like that's how great,
bro.
Yeah, like dog, that's how great Gobert is. Like, and you know what I'm saying? And even with DeAndre Jordan now, DeAndre Jordan's older now. DeAndre Jordan from the Clippers, that guy who was like in the running for defensive player of the year at certain points. Tyson Chandler with the Knicks in Dallas. When those guys were young and like spry and had like they were sharp, they were lifting teams with their defensive prowess. That's no longer DeAndre Jordan. And if it's me, I think DeAndre Jordan should be on the coaching staff next year, but he shouldn't be on the roster wasting like a roster spot. I think he should be on the coaching staff for sure. But I say that to say you can't just for years in a row just roll the basketball out there with a bunch of fringe NBA guys and fringe starters. That's why I asked, like, how many people would you really say on this roster are starters? And I can't get past 3, honestly.
Like I said, 3 for sure. 4 like I got 3 in a possible.
Okay. Yeah, 3 in a possible. And look, in spades, that's a terrible hand too.
Got 3 in a possible, but it'd be like, we can't like that possible gonna work. Like, what you know what I mean?
Yo,
Like,
shout out to Louisiana girl. Like, motherfucker, you better have some jokers. Like, shout out
3
Louisiana
ain't even 2
That's
jokers.
not even going board. That's not even like look.
Yeah. Like I look at it like this. Trey respect, like Trey's a starter, right? But Trey like one of them kings that might get cut. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Like, he's a starter, but he's a heart.
Yeah.
I get you. He's a starter, but he's a heart. Okay. Like,
so I don't know. Zion is the one player on this team that damn near no matter what team he on, he a starting caliber player.
It's like, to me, it's like you a spade. That's a terrible connotation to use for a black man. But Zion is we're talking about the card game spades. Yeah, he might be a king of spades, maybe, but you're not an ace. No. And you're damn sure not a joker.
No.
So, but you might be a king, and every once in a while, if you can show some ace type capability,
you can do some shit with that. You can
do some ace shit. But I gotta make sure I got a bunch of other head busters on this team. Like, even
like if you got the ace and I got the king, we can make some shit.
Yeah, make them happen. Like man, shout out to Jamal Murray. Love what he doing this season. Again, this guy compliments Joker perfectly. Eric Gordon, another guy who left Orlando, came to a team with a real system around some quality players. He was already a big ass dude, but put on even more weight. Focused on rebounding. And then he said to himself, he's like, I had to come to the conclusion that I just wasn't going to be like a scorer no more. Like, I had to play like, an Andre Iguodala type role. You know what I'm saying? So I think you get that level.
Those are the kind of moves that this team need to make. Like, example, Sadiq Bey is the perfect kind of move that you like.
Oh, yeah, that's a home run.
That's a player that, like, you gotta hit on players like those to counter. Like, you gotta build your team around stuff like if you could find an Aaron Gordon type move where like a guy comes in and becomes like a starter, like a dude that could defend. He expands his game, which like makes your value that you got him for is a lot of, you know what I mean? Just you need stuff like that, man. You can't
need some dudes that, like, for me. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Sadiq. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. Sadiq Bey could be having an outlier year, but I thought Sadiq Bey was already who he was. And man, when I say this brother took a next step, like another step this season, kept his body in shape, kept being stronger physically. He had some rough patches during the season, but more often than not, he's played lights out this season. I wanted to get to Louisiana Gals post as well. Shout out to Jess. Jess say Ant-Man is one of my favorite players, man. Ant is box office.
Bro, you know what it is about Ant? Ant is the mindset, dog.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. That's what make everyone mad with Zion. Because Zion will look across at Ant and be like, you can't fuck with me. And then he'll act like a killer. But when Ant not in front of him, he'll be like, whatever. It's like, no, you can't keep mailing it in. You need him. Go ahead.
That's why I want Ja.
Yeah, you need it. That's what I'm saying. Like, dog, you hit the nail on the head, and you've been saying that for a while. It's like you need psychopaths to surround certain people. Like, certain people respond to certain things when they're not self-starters. Like with Ja, you probably need more of a veteran calming presence. But that don't work with somebody like CJ McCollum with Ja would probably work a little bit better than CJ McCollum with Zion. But I think I'm talking at least on the court. I think you kind of need something like that on the court. But shout out Louisiana Gale. Louisiana Gale say Borrego rolled out a lineup with Murray, Micah Peavy, Derek Queen, Eve Meese, and Herb Jones. Then tried Looney, Micah, Derek on the floor with Fears. Borrego found out he wasn't getting the job and lost his mind. Yeah, this man allegedly is definitely on blow because
Micah ain't played. Listen, Micah ain't played in I don't know how long. That's first.
Micah ain't played since the last win, I think. Who they beat last? The Clippers. He ain't played. No. Mike ain't played since the Kings. I don't know. He played since after the Kings. Whoever that game was after the Kings, that's when Michael played. I think it might have been the Clippers.
Unfortunately, you do need a Pat Bev type. Not Pat Bev specifically, but you need somebody who just and you know what? Realistically, I think Fizz got a little bit of that, yeah.
Yeah, I think he do too. I think the thing with Fizz is he's a rookie. The finishing ability not quite there. So Michael Peavy ain't played. No, he played versus the Raptors in like the end of a blowout, and he played 3 minutes versus the Pistons. He played 2 minutes, 3 minutes. This man last real minutes probably ain't been in this month because this man.
Bryce, let me ask you this: how important is Bryce?
Yo, you know what? I wanted to ask you that too because I was about to say I think if they played Bryce, if Bryce didn't get hurt, they might steal a win or two more. Because again, you can't have 1 for 8 hurt games, and that's been a consistent thing. And there were times where Bryce was taking Herb's minutes, but just like the Pelicans' luck, how it usually fucking goes, you get to the point where Bryce get an injury nobody sees, he's out.
Like, why the fuck the Pelicans all of a sudden like Bryce McGowan's been out for the last 6 games, and like, well, goddamn, I didn't realize Bryce had that much value.
What's crazy is the fact that people would use that as an excuse, and it ain't no disrespect to Bryce. You know what I'm saying? Respect your mind, Bryce. But dog, Bryce
shouldn't matter that much.
It shouldn't matter, dog. Bryce is averaging 8, 2, and 1 on the season, right?
That's close to Herb.
I'm about to go to Herb is averaging 9, 2, and 3, and he making 12 million more. He making 12 million more than Bryce.
You can't justify. Listen, going into this offseason, because I know part of this is about what the plan is.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce is signed.
Yeah, Bryce is guaranteed.
Bryce is signed. You got Sadiq on the hook next year for $6 million.
Yeah, like, you gotta extend them,
bro. Well, I'm just saying
they got some low cost ballers on the team.
I'm saying you ain't gotta do shit with Sadiq. How you said it might be an outlier year.
Could be an outlier year.
Hey, bro, come back on that $6 million and prove it.
But yo, I dropped the link, man. We had an hour. If y'all got something on your mind, man, come tap in. We're gonna try to keep it like maybe an hour 20. You know what I'm saying? So we could just get our thoughts off, let y'all get y'all thoughts off, pause, and we'll be out of here because we already know more losses coming. We couldn't even get to 2750 though. That broke me. Because I was hoping for 2750.
Listen, we went through the schedule. And I'm like, bro, other than they got Utah again, I think.
Yeah, Utah, and they got the Celtics again. The Celtics might rest that game because they've been resting Jalen lately. But they got, let me see who the Celtics number 2, and they would play. Oh boy, the Celtics probably chilling because the Celtics number 2, and they would play Miami or Orlando. So they probably like, I'm tripping. They would play Philly. So the Celtics probably like
Celtics will win that game, bro. I'm like, again, not only have they re-quit, you know what I mean? Them dudes ready for the off season, man. Like, they done. So
let me ask you something. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just looking like we was looking at the schedule and it was kind of like, what do they have? 25 wins. You might get
27.
You might get 27, depending on how Utah and Sacramento feel.
You only 1 game ahead of Dallas. You 2 games behind Memphis. Who? That's the thing. This is the thing people not really like grasping. I think. Well, I think some people are, but they're lying about it. You're not trying to tank. Memphis is tanking, and you still ain't got a better record than them. You lost 5 games in a row. Memphis is on a 1-game winning streak. If Dallas is on a 1-game winning streak, the Pelicans lost 5 in a row. You know who else lost 5 in a row, bro? The Utah Jazz, who are actively tanking. Yeah. The Sacramento Kings have lost 4 in a row. They're actively tanking. That is pathetic. That's pathetic. But go ahead.
Let me ask you this: if going into the off season, right? Let's assume Borrego's fired, right? Let's just. I think we could kind of drop that nail in the bucket. I think they do it.
I hope so.
No, there's no way.
I've been disappointed in so many negative ways.
I'm gonna say 95% that he's not the guy. what would be some of your first moves? Like, what would be your first move, roster wise, other than the coach?
That's the coach's side. First move, I'm finding somebody to take Herb Jones's contract.
Okay.
Herb Jones and DeJounte. I'm packaging. I'm dangling a trade package with either Jordan Poole and Herb or Herb Jones and DeJounte. I need to decide what I'm gonna do with Looney's team option, if I'm gonna pick it up to trade him, or if I'm gonna decline that team option so I could just let him walk or whatever, save that $8 million. I probably would just decline it, to be honest. I probably would decline it. But
I would like they did with Hawkins.
Yeah, take the chance to get stuck. I'm looking to move off of. I'm looking to create an additional roster spot, and I'm looking to move off of Hawkins, potentially Poole, DeJounte, and Herb. I need to get off of the Herb Jones contract before the money really kicks in, because it's going to be a big problem. It's going to be like an Andre Roberson problem. DeJounte, I'm not buying it. I still think he starts the season on the team, but I'm not buying it. I need an upgrade at that position. Like I need some box office at that position. It's either I either need a major upgrade at point guard or a major upgrade at center. One of the two. And it got to be a major upgrade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Also, shit, when you think about it, you need another shooter out there as well. So, you know, the Pelicans should have at least 4 new players next season, in my opinion.
At least 4?
It better be 4. Like, no, I say that. Well, I'll say at least 4.
In addition to, you mean like in addition to, let's say, the 4 or 5 they keep?
No, like this who I'm keeping.
Let's start there. Who's safe?
Who's safe? Trey, Zion, and Fears are safe.
Okay.
Bryce is safe. Carlo is safe.
Okay.
To me, Carlo like an end of the bench rotational guy.
Yeah, it don't hurt either way.
Eve, he right there, but he not safe. Like he right there, but he not safe. Like, because I view him as like a backup rotational big, not a starter. But Eve is you know, what's the offer, right?
Yeah.
But so who I say, Zion, Bryce, Fears, Sadiq Bey, Trey, Carlo. It's 15 of these motherfuckers, so that's 9 more. Bryce, I ain't say Bryce, so let's say Bryce. That'll be 7. So they ain't got no roster spot. PV on the roster. He not safe, but he on the roster. Yeah. So that's 8. So that's I gotta have a roster minimum of 13. So I need DeJounte gone. I need Hawkins gone. I don't need Poole gone, but Poole, you should go. Right? That's 3. Like, y'all gotta go. Y'all get out of here.
DeAndre.
Now that's the thing too. To me, DeAndre is gone from the roster, but I would bring him back on the staff. But you gone from the roster. I'll bring him back on the staff because people do see him, respect him, and like him.
Yeah.
Everybody else who I didn't name, like a Queen is gonna be safe, of course. Right? Yes. But he ain't necessarily safe because I want to bring him back. He's safe because I know that he ain't going.
He's going to be on the roster.
Yeah, he's going to be on the team, and
something
I'm
crazy got to happen for him to
Something
it would have to be something like
Giannis got to say, "I want to come to the Pelicans."
27 pick, the 27 pick, Queen, Poole for Giannis or something like salary filler. Poole, Herb, Queen, 27 for Giannis.
I just thought of something, son. In Louisiana, gal, she planted this bug in my mind the other day. With the tanking rules changing, right?
Flattening that out.
If the Bucks came to you and said, "Look, we need our pick back because we gonna work on a 3-team deal." I'm using someone for example. Let's say it's the Nets, just hypothetically, right? And they say, "Look, we will give you 3 picks for that Bucks pick, and we'll give you a protected first for Derek Queen." Would you take the protected first for Derek Queen to go to the Nets? That says top 15 protected.
Oh, I don't know, but the 3 picks are nice. But I don't want to give up the 27
for nothing. Yeah, see, with the I don't really because it's just a proposal as it stands. I
Yeah,
don't really understand
more
the odds.
clarity. I need more clarity.
Yeah, I need more clarity.
It's something to consider.
Let me ask you this, and then I'll ask you who's safe on your squad. What's the worst pick you take back for Derek? Like the
I'm
worst
still
you
not of the
accept.
mindset of trading Derek, but
It's hypothetically.
Yeah. I'd have to at least get where he was.
13. Well, shit. What did we trade 13 for? So you have to get top 15 pick.
Top 15. I need at least top 15. I need to feel like I'm at least in the same like position or something like that for him.
Okay.
Because the thing is initially when you went into the season, you didn't intend this season having a top 10 pick anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
You ain't know what was gonna happen with the Bucks either. So yeah.
No. So when you went into the season, you ain't think like y'all was gonna be this damn bad. Even if you get the 30-something wins, like even if you would have got what the ESPN projection was 32, something like that, where you ain't even close to the play-in, but like 33, 34 wins, you're like, all right, we like pick, 11.
I'm about to pull up Tankathon. Go
ahead. Yeah. If you somewhere around pick 13, 14, but they got us projected like 3.
Nah, right now we 7th. Hold on, let me do this, Sim. All right, so if the Pelicans land 8th and the Bucks land 9th, I'm still upset because I'm telling like this is bad, son. The Pelicans are pretty much locked in at between 7th and 9th because Chicago is 29th. The Golden State, Chicago got 29 wins, the Bucks got 29 wins. So the Bucks don't either be 9th or 10th. Golden State got 36. So the Pelicans are either going to be not locked in, projected to pick at between 7th and 8th. So you would have to ask yourself,
Atlanta.
Are you comfortable trading pick 7 or pick 8? And look, mind you, it was a swap, so it would have been 7 or 8, no matter what. So unless one of these picks jump. So in this practice, you would have to ask yourself, would I had drafted Derek pick 7 or 8? And at that point, that's when it's really a crapshoot anyway, because it's like after the top 5, really after the top 3, that's when it gets to being like, what the fuck?
I'll say this: when you looked at the draft that they just recently had, like the draft that Derek Queen was actually in, you could make an argument that he could have been a top 8 pick. Like when you see like Igor, I didn't really see much of. I ain't gonna say he didn't play okay, but like I didn't see much of him. Kyler Murray, Boyles, like I like him, but
because you really talk about motherfuckers like Noah who got hurt.
Noah ain't done shit all season.
Danny Wolf.
Yeah, like and to be honest, like
Igor had a run, but it wasn't nothing.
Bro, Derek Queen about to be second team all rookie, most likely. First or second team all rookie.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that's a testament to your point to where it's like, well, fuck, everybody else was so bad, he was probably like the best of the bad bunch? Or do you think his play has warranted that? And I'm sorry, it's a 2-part question. The second part of that question would be, well, could you have gotten something better next year at 7, 8? Because you drafted Fierce this year at 7. So could you have got something better next year at 7?
Pop, I think you went into next season not thinking you were going to be this bad.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
My bad. Here's the thing. I'm sorry I cut you off. But you still had to swap.
That's true.
And that's the part that fuck you up because it's like if I thought the Bucks was about to be like 15th and I'm about to be good, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
But the fact that both of us is bad now, what we gonna do? Swap the pick for each other's pick? But go ahead.
But no, I don't know. I think it's hard. It's really hard to judge the DQ stuff. To be he's still 1 year, right?
Yeah, it's still 1 year.
And then you really not gonna know until next year's rookies come out and how they look on the NBA level, while they might have some, let's say your top 3, unless the Pelicans pick fall top 3, top 4, top 5, which it might, but like unless it falls somewhere in there, then it's kind of like, all right, you really messed this up. Well, if it falls, and again, the value of the pick, again, you could have traded it and stuff like that. So I understand that at like the value of the pick itself is better than like using the actual
pick, yeah.
But until you find out where the pick lands and what they do with it or what it turns into, it's kind of hard to judge, because if that pick turns in, let's say that pick turns into like 9, and for whatever reason that player busts, like it still don't, you know,
because again, once you get out of the top 3, it's kind of like top 4. It's kind of like weird. Like, for example, just looking at the mock drafts, at pick 6, they got Darius Cup Jr. You don't need a point guard.
No.
At pick 7, Kingston Fleming. You don't need a point guard. Michael Brown Jr. You don't need a point guard. Then you get to like pick 9. You got Nate Emmett, Braden. Yeah, Braden Burns, who's a 6'4" shooting guard. Nate Emmett is a 6'10" power forward. Jaden, what's his name? Quaintance. I don't mean no disrespect. Jaden Quaintance. He averaging. I know this ain't right. This man averaging 5 and 5. That can't be right. Jesus.
Michael Carter. What is that? Michael Carter Bryant went fucking top whatever, averaging like.
Yeah. We did a breakdown on him, and that is. They saw something in practice from that guy, because what the fuck,
4 game, bro.
Like, with me looking at this first round, and I'm not gonna like act like I have a ton of knowledge on this particular draft. It don't start looking really intriguing until you get to like Thomas Hall at 14. No, you got guys like, what's his name? Freshman point guard Labarian Filon. Like, these guys are small guys, like tweeners. It don't really start getting interesting until you get to like Christian Eck at 15. Honestly.
So to your point again, how does DQ? Because again, if DQ was in this year's draft as a sophomore, he'd probably be dominating college. You know what I mean? Like, where would you be looking to draft DQ anyway?
You know,
I think he'd be top 10.
The thing that would fuck my head up though is that he would be such an older sophomore.
Which is why he came out.
Yeah, I'm like, bitch, you better be in there dominating. You like you go to a bar. But still, that point still stands. So
yeah, that's just kind of like, you know what I mean, how you got to look at it. So I guess.
Hold on, my bad. I just want to pull up one more mock draft, because again, you're looking at pick. Hopefully, if it don't jump, you're looking at pick like 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, right? Somewhere in there.
It's really like 7, 8, and you're looking at undersized points.
But they had 4th, 5th eyes last year, and that bit fell to 7. Watch this year, it's gonna be that one that jump up the top 4.
Oh, he been hurt all year, Louisiana again. See, that is his average. Boy, I was like, what the fuck? He got paid $2 million by Kentucky. He been hurt all year. Now, see, that's another thing with them NIL guys, because you really don't know what you're getting. Like you'll be like, man, who is this?
Bro, they got questions about Darren Peterson right now.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I think Darren Peterson should go to the Kings, and I say that because that seemed like that story just seems so Kings driven. Like, that's a Kings guy.
You think that's a real story? Oh, you think he's gonna get to the NBA and ball out?
I ain't gonna lie. From me watching him,
he looked like the best player in the draft sometimes when you watch him. When he decide to play.
Yeah, to me, I was more excited about Cooper Flag. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought Cooper was better.
Bro,
and
he talking that shit about Cooper. Cooper was the real deal to me.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, though. Should I say this? I ain't gonna say it, but no, fuck it. I'm gonna say it because I keep it real. I don't give a fuck. People was hating on Cooper because Cooper was white, dog. People was hating on Cooper. Yeah. People was hating on Cooper because Cooper is white. If Cooper Flag was black, he would have again been the consensus number one, because that's how talented he was. And still, a lot of people gave Cooper his props. It just some people was like, I don't see it. I'm like, you gotta watch this guy. This motherfucker can ball. We got
Cooper got
Jaden
right
in the
now.
building.
Cooper still
Yeah,
look like
today
Cooper got
Cooper can start on, in my opinion, 30 teams.
Yeah,
That's
Cooper
how
got
that motherfucker cold.
no,
We
Cooper,
got Jaden in the building, man.
and then
Cooper hold though. Go ahead, my bad, finish your point.
I'm just saying, like, if we talking about, losing out on a Cooper flag.
Oh yeah, that's some shit. You now not like, to me, if the pick jumped to like 4 and it end up being Caleb Wilson, I'm like, you start feeling like the Jackson Hayes.
They made
Darius
the trade
Garland
draft
shit.
night, right? It was draft night. They made the trade.
Night. They made the
Let
trade.
me ask you this: do you think if, let's say, Ace would have fell to 7, you think if Ace, let's say Ace would have fell to 7, do you think they would have still went and got? Because I firmly believe if Ace was there, they would have took Ace. You think they still make a move for DQ, or they only make the move for DQ because
I think they made the move for DQ no matter what. I think they knew. I think Fierce was going to be the guy. I think they knew Ace wasn't falling to 7. I was told behind the scenes Ace had some interest in coming to the Pelicans, but I think DQ was going to be their second pick no matter what.
Would you have preferred them packaging to go up? Like, initially the people was talking about them going up to 3 for VJ or going up to 5 for Ace or something like that. Would you have preferred them going up and getting one of those guys
versus getting Queen and Fierce?
Yes.
I can only really answer that if this pick stays at like 7 for the Pelicans. Now, full transparency, I wouldn't trade the 7th pick for Derek Queen. But yet and still, if it ends up being like a bunk ass pick, then I'm kind of like, well, at least you gave yourself 2 stabs at it. But you would have to tell me that Renard, you got to tell me too much shit. You got to give me too much information. Like, Renard would have to be going to the Kings because he forced his way to the Kings. And the best I got is Derek, because I'm happy with the Fierce pick, but the best I got was Derek. Like, shout out to 504 for I like Con Knipple, but I think Con Knipple, I don't think it get no better for Con. Like, I think Con kind of is who he is, and that's a really good player, but I don't think like them prolific
great situation too.
Yeah, like them prolific, shorter, only shoot guys. I've seen it too many times. Joe Harris, JJ, Duncan Robinson. I've just seen it too many times. Whereas I'm always gamble with the taller player, like an Ace versus a Con. Yeah. But if the pick end up being bunk, I probably would. I'd have respected their mind if they went up and got VJ. I ain't gonna lie though, I wasn't a big VJ fan coming out. I thought
wasn't
VJ
a fan either, but I'm like, please don't go draft VJ. And then I saw VJ night 1
because he looked like Victor Oladipo to me, and I like Victor Oladipo. But for me, if you're the Pelicans, this is my thing with the Pelicans. You gotta go for the home run swing every time. Maybe they viewed Derek as a home run swing. Maybe they're like, fuck it. And it's like, you can't swing at everything.
You know what my thought was? I don't know if they brought, this is going to sound weird. I don't think they brought Derek in to be a starter.
You don't think so?
No. I think they brought Derek in to take the load off of Zion.
I can see that.
I think most of what, when you listen to, and I don't know how true it is, but I think all Joe talked about is what Zion had to do in the previous seasons is a tough night to live because nobody else could create. I think they like the idea of bigs that can create and you run the offense through, which is what they saw from DQ. So I think DQ and Fears on top, with Trey to a degree, I think they brought those dudes in so Zion wouldn't have to do so much of the heavy lifting throughout the season. I think they attributed that to why he constantly got hurt.
And you don't know what you're gonna get with Zion. This could have very easily been a year because look, you sent me some clip. Well, you sent me a clip before. There was some people was like, man, look, DQ impacted the game way more ways than Zion. He's already better than Zion. That was a real talking point. Believe it or
Yeah,
not, people were saying. Well, I don't say people.
when DQ early in the season was like,
Yeah,
he's already better than Z.
right. And it's like, I
All
mean,
right,
like me, I'm like, fuck. I hope he is, because better
bro.
than Zion is a lot.
If
But
you remember when DQ had the like triple double, DQ was going
yeah,
at Joker and all of that, it was people was ready to move Z then.
look, I'll say this. I'll say this.
I
Now
remember
that the
all
tape, now that the tape is out on Derek, he's gonna have to. I hope they bring in a good coach for this brother. He gonna have to have some willingness. Not saying he does it now. I don't know. He will have to have some willingness to abandon his own ideas, and he gonna have to take instruction, because now the script is out with Derek. Like, as far as like how you guard him, how you defend him. Now there's some people that's like, well, the script is out. These motherfuckers still scoring. Like, people know how to guard Trey. People know how to guard Zion, but they still, score. Whereas with Derek, it's like people know how to guard Brandon. He still score. Like, people with Derek is like, now what? Now that the script is out, you're like, how can you still become an effective, remain an effective player? Yo, man, let me add Jaden to the joint real quick. See what Jaden thoughts is. Jaden, what up with you, bro?
What's up? What's up, y'all? Just want to pop in for a couple minutes real quick.
Yeah, bro.
For sure. What's the deal?
Here y'all talking about DQ and what situation is and what's the Pels to do this off season. So,
How you feel about what you seen from DQ recently, man? What adjustments do you think the brother needs to make to kind of get back on the right side of things?
well, lately DQ have not responded well. I thought the night was probably the worst game he probably played all season. I mean, a minus 35, man. I never seen a game where somebody's a minus 35. That's just uncalled for any player.
It's funny because I'm not a plus minus guy. It's like once it gets to like past 20, it's like, God damn, wait a minute. But so what adjustments do you think he can make?
Well, I think he can. If DQ can get that 3-point shot right, so like I said, I think he is more of a out and Shenjun type. Like Shenjun, we saw tonight went for 36 points, 5 or 7 from 3. The man didn't miss. But I think if DQ can improve, he got a good handle. He can get to the rim, but he still have trouble finishing at the rim sometimes. But if he gets that 3-point shot right, I think Derek Queen can be a very good player.
Yeah.
But
I'm very hopeful, man, because I think you needed to work with DQ, man. Like, for everybody's sake, you definitely need it, man. I appreciate you, Jaden. I'm gonna get Ashton up on the call. Be safe out there, brother.
no problem, y'all have a good night.
You as well, brother. My bad, Ashton. Hold on one second, brother. What you about to say? L, my bad. I ain't see you.
I see the weight room comment.
Yeah, Meech. Yeah, it's to get in the weight room. Yeah,
bro. I just think he need that one. If he comes in and shoots, I don't know what you could do about the motor. So weight room, motor, shooting, like those are 3 things that he could do to help himself immediately. But the way that he's moving, like lackadaisical out there, that's not gonna fly, bro.
With
that's
the motor, I think the thing you can help him with is you gotta give him a defined role and let him know, nah, you gonna get your touches, though. You gonna get your touches. It just gotta be in this situation. I think that's the best you can do, unless he, ultimately becomes a self-starter. Because some guys, it's not too late with shit like that. Ashton, what's the deal, homie?
What's good? What's good, man?
What's good, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing better than the Pelicans.
Yeah. You got a pulse, so you definitely doing better than
Yeah. See, my whole thing with Queen, it is it's problems that I've seen, but I've seen this with young bigs before. I've seen some of this with Boogie, even AD at times whenever he was here. My thing is he needs just reps. I do believe we're going to need an actual real deal center that can space the floor.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think he needs reps at the 4 or at the 5?
At the 4.
Okay.
Because he'll never be a real deal center. Like I can see it. I can see small ball lineups of like in spurts, but never really a real deal center that's a rim protector. You need a rim protector that can space the floor with him, and that'll also help out Fears too.
Okay.
For these two downhill attackers.
Now,
go
ahead. My bad. Actually, my bad.
No. You good? It's just I'm just so tired, man.
I understand. Now, look, Ashton. Let me give you this POV, right? Because I think we all gotta take a deep breath and zoom out, right? Because I'm tired as a motherfucker myself. I ain't gonna lie, and I've been sick and tired. But I think we gotta look at it like this is year one. This is not year 8.
Oh, I'm not worried about him. Oh, I'm not.
No, not DQ. Not DQ.
The Joe Dumars era.
I'm saying, yeah. Now we gotta look at it like this is year one of the Joe Dumars era.
Yeah,
and it's like. It ain't been a fun year one, boy. I tell you that.
It hasn't. It hasn't. Look, I'm praying to God that we get rid of half these motherfuckers. I'm so sick, and it ain't. I'm not trying to beat a dead man while he's down. Yeah. But Zion, if I see you in this city anymore, bro, I'm tired of it, man. Like go to Miami, please. Go somewhere else.
No, I feel you, bro, because it gets to the point. I appreciate you, Ashton, brother. Have a good night, fam.
You too,
like
man.
To Ashton's point, you just get tired of seeing the same thing happen with the same results because it is the textbook definition of insanity. And I think Joe got a chance to really at least show that you're serious by making a major move out the gate. You need to make a major move out the gate. What's your thoughts on that, brother?
I 1000% agree. My major move would be out the gate, fire Borrego.
Oh, okay, Borrego.
Fire, because you fired Willie,
right?
And everybody wanted that, expected that.
Mm-hmm.
I would just immediately start, because once you fire Borrego, I think that's the first. How you just mentioned it being year one, right? I think once you wipe the coaching staff, that would start being all right. Well, that's the first move.
Yeah. Now you get to pick your coach.
Now that's the first.
Now it's on you.
It's on you. Like that's the first real move in your, because you had a draft. Don't get me wrong. You had a draft, right? Like you got to pick 2 of your players. It takes time to figure out what your players are going to turn into. Like regardless of how we feel about DQ, it's still only year one.
Year one under a terrible coaching staff. Some players pop early. Like it take 2-3 years sometimes for players to truly develop, right? So they, as of right now, realistically, depending on how you feel, like where you land on DQ, some people feel like you got 2 good players, like 2 good. Yeah. A lot of people, right?
Like, forget what you gave up, but it's like, look, we got 2 promising young players, moving forward. If you get the coach, and then you come in, and then you can really focus in on this roster. Like, I think it's gonna take how they start shaping the roster this summer. You hit on Sadiq Bey, that's a good move. I think Bryce was a solid move. You know what I mean? I think finding Bryce is a solid move.
Solid rotation guy.
Like you got some small, very small, wins.
Yeah.
This season. But if
you got 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, you got 2 not really second-round picks.
Yeah.
But I just think, and look, you got Jose out the building, which was a hard one for the fan base.
It should have been, but yeah.
But you did.
It was, yeah.
Listen, if you move her, you just gonna rip the Band-Aid right off you're gonna rip the Band-Aid right off of.
I'm like, Herb, where you want to go?
Listen, bro, I think
people where you want to go.
Bro, people gonna be more hurt about moving Herb than anything, but I think that's gonna be the move where everybody will be like, all right, well.
If they trade her and this team win 5 games in a row, people are like, well, sometimes things don't last forever. You gotta move on. And bro, come on.
I think Herb gonna be the move, bro. So I think you can, again, like you said, it's year one into the rebuild, and then again, another part of the wins is, bro, Zion was healthy. Trey, who had been missing some times, played the most games he's played in a while.
Yeah.
This season, you did get DeJounte back, whatever, however you feel. I don't like what they did with Poole, but guess what? That motherfucker ain't get hurt to end the season. Like he go in the season healthy, ready to be traded to wherever wherever you got.
Damn. I just noticed something, bro. Herb gonna not play 65 games this season. Damn. He might play. He gets 6 games left. So Herb, if he plays every game, he'll end the season with less than 60 games played.
Gotta move him.
Damn.
Gotta move.
I didn't realize that.
Gotta move him. How many Z got? Z gonna hit what? 60? If he hits 66, I'm talking shit.
I think Zion is at 58. So he gonna hit 64 games.
I was close. I said he was gonna play over 65 and maybe
because it is 6 games left, right? Because if it is, he gonna play 64.
Yeah, 6 games left.
He might play 64 if there's that game left. He wasn't getting no postseason honors anyway, but still.
No, he wasn't. But you know, said bro, like it's really not like you said. You not that far. You like 1 or 2 solid. You a starting center and 2 quality role players away from being like.
See,
a good coach from being competitive.
Can I say this too? Because I think people like when they say the team not close, like, bro, nobody talking about a championship because that takes an extremely special set of circumstances.
Yeah,
like that take extremely special set of circumstances to happen, especially in this market.
People talk about how great OKC situation is and all of that, right? They had to blow it up, be terrible, get picks, get good, get Shea become an MVP, and they are Tyrese Halliburton Achilles away from having to blow that shit up because
they go get a star. Yeah, nah.
Lose now is like
y'all be losing in the first round. Damn, like now you're looking at that, and then like the year prior they beat the Pelicans in the play-in. If I'm not mistaken, what was that year they beat the Pelicans in the play-in?
That was the year before the 1 seed year.
Yeah, so it was like
3 seasons ago, something like that.
It takes
4 seasons ago now, something.
It takes a very special set of circumstances for all this shit to come together, man. But I think we're gonna have to do a show, man. Kind of outlining. I know you're great with them graphs, man. We're gonna have to put some graphs together, do a show outlining the course of action for the Pelicans to get to that next level. I think right now, I'm hoping tonight Mosley is fired. And I know Mosley, shout out Louisiana guy. I know Mosley ain't been impressive, but he lost that.
Are they in the playoffs? They in the playoffs.
They still in the fucking playoffs. And he lost that locker room. But see, look, they fired Mike Malone and they fired Taylor Jenkins, and they went to the playoffs.
Orlando don't have that kind of like the cojones to do nothing like that.
They might not. Right now, they'll be playing the 76ers. I think they would beat the Sixers in the series. I think the Sixers just gonna be so hurt. They're gonna just if you woke up tomorrow and they fired James Borrego, how would you look at this front office? Well, I look at the front office like I would be like, well, I already knew you had big balls, but now I would think you got some brains too, because you got to have them both. That would change me. That would change my perspective on them being ahead of the curve with things, like not being reactionary, being proactive. Like, look, we need more time. We started interviewing. For all I know, they already been interviewing motherfuckers.
That's true.
Yeah, because
let me ask you this: if they fire Borrego, like day the season ends, right, and then like they don't really announce interviews, but the hire is like a Sam Cassell. You know what I mean?
I would assume that they interviewed a bunch of people.
Okay.
And then got to Sam.
Okay.
Honestly, because we never really know like all of the things and all the people. It's like shout out to Ivy. I know Ivy like Klingon. It's like from what I know, from what I was told, they tried to trade up for Klingon. They just couldn't get him. From what I was told, like they tried to do this and try to do that. Now, again, one can say if you're the Pelicans and you would have got Jabari in that draft, like you traded up for Jabari, so you traded 2 firsts for Jabari,
Mhm.
and it was like, what, Jabari? What the fuck? You traded 2 firsts for Jabari? Now you could be feeling the same way as you feel about Derek Queen. So it's like it's all about like circumstance. Like if they had traded for Jabari and ended up with Dyson, and somebody drafted Dyson Daniels, and Dyson looked like the defensive guy he ended up being, some people might be like,
same thing was like you could have moved BI for Scoot, and some people feel like Scooter bust.
Yeah, some people like Scooter bust. Since he's been back, he's playing well, but fuck, you missed damn near the whole season with the hamstring thing tear, I think. So again, it's so many ways to retro do this. Like something. Look, Chet. I think Chet went third. No, he went second. Jabari went third.
Yeah.
If Chet didn't have a ring, there's no way people looking at Chet like, yeah, Chet should have went second. Like, man, Chet.
Bro,
plays like
barely play, and he's only like a 14, and
like Chet not he not like that. He just like but
it is. We could use a Chet.
But see, this is the thing too. You could use a Chet, but but would I trade for Chet?
Trade for Chet?
Oh hell no.
You wouldn't trade for Chet?
No, I ain't gonna lie. To me, Chet is one of them dudes, kind of like. He's not as good as Wemby, of course, and Wemby's bigger, but it's like, man, I'll drive through your motherfucking chest and kill you. Like, watching Chet in the postseason, I was just like, oh no. Like you need a center. And that's when they went and got Hartenstein. So I was like, oh no, this ain't.
But you know what? This is the last thing too. If OKC, right? This is what they have been doing repeatedly throughout their, like them building their team. They see what the team need, and then they go get it following summer or something like that.
Yeah,
like they needed more than
shooting.
And then they get Caruso.
Look, they had Josh Giddey. They needed toughness shooting. When got Caruso, like you said.
Yeah, they needed a center because, like you said with Chet, we're gonna get Hartenstein to supplement that, even if we gotta pay for it.
Right.
If the Pelicans fail, and this is why I think you got to be on Watt for like Ja Morant or something like that. If they are not trying to rebuild this team, I think they go like star hunting, because one, I don't think they feel like they're that far, but I do think they need more like good players.
I don't think they fought from being a play-off/in team. One of those reasons being the West is getting worse. Now, each year is its own individual thing, but you had Anthony Davis leave the West. You had Ja Morant. He might stay in the West, but he's probably going to be on your team. The Kings clearly in rebuild mode, so they're not going to be competitive for a couple of years.
Rebuild mode.
Yeah, like the West is kind of
rebuild mode. You don't know what's happening with Kyrie.
That's why I'm like, I don't want to move to the fucking East. Like, only thing I want to do with the East is I want the games to start earlier. But the Clippers, like, nah, it's over. Like,
Kawhi might get bought out. Kawhi might not have no contract.
Kawhi might be facing one of the worst fines we ever seen in our life with that tree planting shit. Then you got like the Blazers, but they end up playing for all the good Thiago Splitter did this year.
The rest of those teams,
like again,
a Ja Morant for DeJounte Murray type deal.
That could be the first major domino that sets you up.
It could be the first move that I could see them making that really. And I think Ja is a Joe kind of guy, but like a Ja Morant type move with a new coach, like a tough coach that kind of fit the Joe Dumars mindset, I think really changes what you like. You get him to stay on the shit. You got Zion to stay on the court.
I think them dudes would be the New Orleans bad boys, son. But not bad boys Pistons, but they would be interesting. Yeah. Look, and I'll say this, and we'll close with this, son. For the people that say, well, shit, you gotta remember, Dumars then dealt with Ja from a disciplinary standpoint. It's like he has, but remember, the NBA got private investigators, and Zion and Ja ain't that much different. Off the court, Zion and Ja ain't that much different. And I'm not even talking about the shit people know about. I'm talking about just if like, whoa, what up with your Dave? Because think about this. And my partner told me this one time. If you see me coming out the weed spot one time and you catch me, you caught me this one time. But I probably done been 1,000 times
all the time.
Like with the Josh shit is, or with the Zion shit is like, this the time I got caught. But like I this is my life. This is how I live.
Yeah,
hopefully,
I got a system now.
Yeah, now I'm like, damn, they watching me. But
and Joe probably was like, "This how you get by the system."
Right. Like, look, nigga, show up. Like, show up to these fucking games, nigga. And we could deal with almost anything else. Show up to the games and don't go to jail.
I'm gonna get you paid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you paid. Don't worry about it. You show up and play.
Yeah.
We're gonna take care of the rest.
And Ja do for a contract. So Ja be willing to come down here. I'm sure he do. Because you know, Jaron Jackson Jr.
He love coming down here.
Look,
he be in all the high schools and shit at LSU.
Jaron Jackson Jr. got some family roots down here. I just found out the other day. Shout out to my dog Lito, man. I just realized. Well, he just told me that the other day, and I was like, he do, damn, I didn't know that. And then you got Ja, who always down here. So man, let's just stop playing these games. Let's stuck it out. If we about to be the penitentiary Pelicans, let's just be the penitentiary Pelicans, and let's just go with the flow, man.
The three moves. Here you go. 3 moves. Ja, Derek Lively, Marvin Bagley.
I'm with him. I'm like all three of them moves. Now we still need some shooting. Somebody
we gotta go get a shooter from somewhere. I just ain't identified who that is.
The thing with all those, in my opinion, that's low cost guys. Because Marvin Bagley and Marvin Bagley and Derek Lively together gonna cost about, they motherfuckers might cost about $12 million combined or something like that. And both of them durable. Well, Lively not durable and Ja not, but Marvin. Oh yeah, both of them actually like possible. So you know what I'm saying, you find somebody for that money. You know, you said MPJ. I think MPJ gives too much money. It'll be hard to get him.
Who?
PJ, Michael Porter Jr.
Man, send Herb to Dallas for Lively.
I'll do it.
Sign Bagley.
I don't think they'd do it, but I'll do it.
Shit, they about to try and put some
people around Kyrie and Cooper.
Yeah.
They still got Gafford. They could maybe they'll just go for it because Cooper better than people thought he was gonna be. So maybe they'll just go for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I say my thing is Kyrie or Ja, Lively, and Force with the bigs. I try to get a Golga.
I'm thinking
Lively
like
and Golga.
I'm of the mindset that Bagley gonna be on this team next year.
I think so too. I think Bagley had a really good year. If Dallas don't want to bring him back, I think he with Dallas right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think he had a really good year with the Wizards. And again, remember Troy Weaver traded for Bagley, gave him an extension, and they were in Washington together. So I'm surprised he ain't end up on the team already.
I just think he had some shit he couldn't get off of quite yet. So I just think he's still in the boot. What the fuck happened to his foot? I don't know. But
he got misdiagnosed initially.
Damn.
He got misdiagnosed initially by the Dallas training staff. So now he like totally slow walking the process. Like no pun intended. I think right now he's walking with a cane. Oh yeah, Cam Johnson. Let me see. I thought Cam was gonna be nice in Denver. Maybe he'll have a big playoff run, but I thought Cam was about to be nice in Denver.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me see. Cam Johnson is making $20 million on the expiring. Cam 30? I didn't know Cam was 30. He's making 23 actually on the expiring. They might expire next year.
Oh,
if Dallas smart, they probably let that money fall off the books because it's gonna be hard for them to.
I don't think you can recoup nothing for that.
Well, no, I was thinking it's gonna be hard for them to move Christian Bond. It's gonna be hard to move Christian.
Would you do?
She said a black chick. Yeah, I think she was the trainer staff. Now I don't know if that got nothing to do with her, but it's a hell of a coincidence.
Braun make right now? How much Braun make?
Who?
Christian Braun.
Christian Bond, too much. But nah, I wouldn't trade for Christian under no circumstances.
Ooh,
I
not
ain't
no
gonna lie. They would have to. Who would you trade for Christian?
I was thinking if you could do a 2 for, I don't know how much Brian make. If you did pool for
Christian Ron make
for
he
Kevin
makes.
Bryant.
Oh my god, this is the worst contract in the NBA. This nigga got. Oh, I mean, sorry. This guy on contract for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, starting at 21.5.
Ooh.
Boy, that is the worst contract in the NBA.
He said,
God,
let me keep her. Let me keep her. Let me keep her.
God, yeah, I would look. Even if he was like expiring in like 2 years, I wouldn't have done that anyway. But boy, what the fuck? I don't know that shit. His contract was that fucking long. Like, god damn, this nigga contract is crazy.
Mike Malone was like, "Get me out of here,
son." Then it ain't got no options. It's straight money.
Ooh.
Oh,
didn't they
boy.
fire the GM too?
I think they did fire him. I think.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Oh yeah, they don't have to let Cam walk, and with the salary cap not jumping the way it needed to,
And Peyton Watson coming up.
Oh, and you got how you going? You can't pay him.
So who we going to get from Denver? Who we going to get from Denver?
I think Peyton, if I'm not mistaken, Peyton gonna be a restricted free agent. Maybe you could do a sign and trade.
Expiring.
Oh, let me see. Peyton Watson. What Peyton Watson gonna be?
I think
he got a no, he a restricted free agent. So I try to create some cap space and work on a sign and trade. I offer that boy. I can't give you as much as Trey because you ain't got it. You ain't bust enough heads like that. I get them Trey. I mean, I'm sorry, I give them Herb. I think you got, but see, the sign and trades are difficult though, because I think you got to send like the money and a half. Yeah, it's like equal and then some, if I'm not mistaken. Because that's why they couldn't trade for Kuminga. But I would offer him like 22 million. Something like that. Start him
I'm
off.
saying like that.
He got to get at least he got to get at least 18. Fuck the way he played this year. Say any rookies y'all like in the draft.
Chris Anak. I'm sold on the Chris, to be honest.
Chris Anak.
And I ain't gonna lie, he didn't have a great showing in the tournament. But sometimes I don't care.
Is we in the finals now? A March Madness?
Yeah, we're in the final four now.
I don't really have nobody I watch too much. I'm gonna wait till after and then
once the season is over.
Yeah, maybe it'll give me something to do. But shit, man. You got something you want to say?
I was just like, you gotta be ready to look at this Denver roster now because stuff making me be like, Cam on expiring.
That'll be a good show. Trying to figure out how we can pull that trade off for Peyton. That'd be a good show. Yo, man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Appreciate everybody rocking with us, man. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you haven't already. Shout out to all the members in here, man. Please consider becoming a member. We just uploaded a new video, Storytime Part 2. We did that Friday. And hit the hype button once we end the live. Al, tell the people where they can find you at, brother.
Hey, y'all catch me. Just say Davis on X, but really you could tap into the Pels and the Blender show on YouTube, man. I got an episode I'm gonna have to do because I got so many ideas of how we about to reconstruct this Pels roster. And I know Chaz, we probably gonna be able to get one of those, but I'm like as we've been.
Yeah, like new ideas popping up. Yeah,
which is why I ain't put the episode out just yet, man. Hit that like button. But Pels in the Blender on YouTube, man. Make sure y'all tap in.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate that. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Catch y'all after the next one, man. Peace.
Peace.